get this party started. Hey, MK, good to see you. I believe we had a videographer. Is she here? MK, would you mind recording? We have somebody, but anybody you guys can record, I would really appreciate it. I'm recording. Yay! Appreciate you for that. Love to see you here. Okay, about 1 minute left, guys. If you take your seats, how you guys doing today? You guys all right? Where you guys from? Where you from? We from Chicago in the building. LA,
Chicago. If he asks twice, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab a bottle of water.
Okay. Cincinnati.
Anybody want a water?
Cincinnati. Sorry about the loss. Appreciate you though.
Is there 5 minutes out that we're recording?
It'll be a
no, I can't tell. You just know because my eyes is open. You're like, oh, what they looking at? They recorded. Where you from? Baltimore. How about you?
B-more is spit out.
I don't know. Where you from here? Phoenix. Oh shit, Arizona in the building. Beautiful. How about you? I know you recorded. Maryland, DMV in the building. I heard that. Yep. Oh, where you from, Chief? Where you at? Memphis, Tenny in the building. I see you, Victor. We got a whole conglomerate. All right, guys. Without further ado, I bring you the NFT panel. I'd like to, at this time, ask you guys to take your seats. If you're not sitting down, go ahead and sit down. We're going to get started. Without further ado, I'd like to have the panel introduce themselves. Welcome, by the way, to Get Rich With Us. This is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. We're here to talk NFTs, talk about what we're doing in here, talk about what we're doing out in the physical world. But this would not be possible without our esteemed guests. We'll start with introductions. Why don't you go ahead and start with the Cannabis Baby Society.
Hey everybody, my name is Alabag, CEO of Everything NFT, and Signature Cannabis Baby Society project. The very first immersive NFT project in Horizon World. The very first, you guys heard it here.
Beautiful. Next up, we got the esteemed TY.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm TY. Everybody know me here for just being a vibe or creating or just having fun. But I'm also the creator of the Wise Guys NFT. It's just an NFT line that I came up with that I'm actually making utilities for. There is a way everybody inside Horizons has access to an exclusive airdrop of just 40 NFTs, but they're exclusive to people in Horizons that nobody else can get. If y'all want the information on that, just friend me, send me a message and stuff like that. But we're gonna go ahead and pass the mic.
Wonderful. Appreciate you, TY. Next we have Pernicus.
What's up, folks? I'm Pernicus. I know a lot of you in the crowd right now.
What up,
I'm the president and CEO of Stellar Door Casino and Lounge, and also the president and CEO of By Pernicus, the NFT brand here. Essentially, we've created Cartier in the metaverse. You got to check that out. That is all.
Yeah, visit Gord to his well up there on the second level if you get a chance. And last but not least, I have to give you Danica City. Can we get some confetti? I appreciate you, Danica.
Oh man, thanks. Hey, I'm Danica City. I'm one of the older creators and statesmen on Horizon. First off, shout out to my people in the crowd, Lawnmower Man, Dot, Trinette. Me and Trinette just did my first interview on Horizon. And shout out to all you guys for being here.
Yeah, I want to thank you guys for being a part of this. Sean Mims is actually on a flight from New York to New Orleans, but he will be here. He said at 2:30. We'll make some room for him to introduce himself when he comes in. But you guys know what time it is. We're gonna get into some topics. And the first topic, which is what all of us want to know, what the fuck is an NFT? I'll just throw it to the panel. Which one of you guys want to take?
Well,
okay,
it's a non-fungible token. Oh, shit.
Okay.
Raising hands? No. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's a non-fungible token, and I'll let y'all, keep at it.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off what Danica was saying, everyone, it is a non-fungible token, which pretty much means something of real-world value that can be stored on a blockchain and can be brought, sold, traded, collected, whatever the case may be, for actual real-world value in exchange. Like people are doing this through, cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. So yeah.
And to just to
Fungible.
piggyback off of
Fungible
that,
is not
one
fungus.
one thing definitely. Oh,
Fungible. It's not
uh,
anything like fungus. It's just something that can't be recreated, can't be replicated. It's one of a kind.
So to piggyback off of that, that it has to be connected to something real world. This is the problem that we sometimes run into with this program here in Meta. It doesn't have any externals, which means it doesn't connect to the internet. And because that the objects that people build here, for now at least, can't be built upon blockchain technology or cryptocurrency, or basically blockchain technology, right? Um, Mark has to help us out with that. There's no way around that. But we did hear that there's an NFT market coming to Meta here soon.
Yep.
Yep, they said they're bringing an NFT market here. So to me, that suggests that at some point in time, this program will open up to the internet and likely allow us to create avatar items as NFTs in here, which you've heard some brand lines and stuff, which is pretty much what we do. Like Copernicus is a wristwatch that you wear, but right now it's just a world asset because I can't call it an NFT yet. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So by a show of hands, who knows what an NFT is now? Show of hands. Raise your hand if you know what an NFT is. Y'all lying. Put your hands down. Y'all lying. Y'all lying. You know why I know you're lying? Because I don't even know what an NFT is, and I make NFTs. Let's be real about this. One of the biggest issues we have in the NFT community is people like to act like they know what they're talking about before they've actually done anything in the market. So as we go through this panel, I want to take some time to pause and kind of like really recollect with the community, like what you think an NFT is. I'm sorry, I'm pick on you, Trinette, but I love you, Queen. What in your opinion is an NFT?
Um, what I think an NFT is like Pernicus was saying, it's an app, or not Pernicus, about a bag. It's an object that you create that is usable, and in this situation, what you're saying is taking it into the real world as well, something that is usable. But like from my understanding, and I never called it an NFT, it's just an object or our creation that it has resale value, right? And people can use it within the metaverse.
And
Yeah, I think that's
one of the big points.
Mhm.
And one of the big points with a non-fungible, it means that it's one of one. Like that is that one. There's nobody who has that one but you. If somebody has a different one, they have to have 002. You'll have 001, right? There's no second or third copy. So when you have an NFT, the whole point is saying it's ownership. It's showing people and registering it as yours. So when you buy something in here, let's say Pernicus drops his watch, right? When he drops the watches, there's only going to be a certain amount. So let's say there's five. Five of you get the watches. That's going to make the value of his thing go up, right? If you guys buy it because it's like, oh, that's exclusive. I might want that watch. Like Crack Goddess might have the watch, but you know what? She bought it for 100. I'll pay her 200 for it. I'll pay her 300 for it. But like he said, it's going to take Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook and these guys just changing the landscape in here so we can all capitalize.
Now,
Yeah.
I want to point out like what you just said about
Pernicus and then Baba.
being non replicable. This is what attracts it to. This is what makes blockchain technology so attractive to it. Because the blockchain technology, one of the key tenets that it's built on is decentralization. So when you exchange like Bitcoin from one place to another, everybody that has part in Bitcoin is also keeping, or the people that are mining are keeping record of all of those transactions that are happening. So in order for somebody to falsify it, they would have to falsify like all of them, right? And this makes it to where it's very difficult to forge things that are built on blockchain. Now, I will point out that the non-fungible thing. Actually, I'm gonna get off the stage. I'm talking too much.
Yeah,
See, I told
Pernicus.
you I was gonna do that.
Pernicus, that was a perfect warm up to lead me to my next point. I just gotta ask the crowd a question. Is anyone in here Jordan lover? Anybody like Jordans, shoe collectors, sneakers? All right. Well, not just speaking on Jordans per se, but anybody that's sneaker collectors, right? So let's just take a man your favorite brand of shoe, right? Let's say a company only released 100 versions of your favorite brand of shoe throughout the entire world, right? because I don't want you guys to think of NFTs only in a digital aspect, right? Because that's what our consulting firm, our NFT consulting firm, focuses on. It. We call everything NFT for a reason because we essentially see every aspect of life becoming an NFT. But back to the example, you got 100 shoes of this special edition, right, out of the entire world. We all know the black market is a big market, right? So you got people that want to keep up with trends, people that want to kind of like, put on a massage or mirage and make it seem like they got it when they really don't. So one way you can distinguish that as an NFT is, let's say everyone in here probably owns, a pair of the shoes and I don't, but I got the shoes on, right? And we get into like a little debate, like, hey, I got the limited edition, you guys got the limited edition as well. Well, the beauty of blockchain is, and the beauty of the NFT piece is, we can verify who has the true authentic shoe with the barcode. There's companies out there that's doing that. I know at one company that's designated to supply chain is a company called VChain, right? Where you can literally scan that barcode on the shoe and it'll verify it on the blockchain as if it's really as if it was really minted there. And whoever's verified on the blockchain has the true authentic shoe. Whoever, like, let's say I tried to scan my barcode on my shoe because I got the fake shoe, right? It doesn't show up on a blockchain. Then that reveals right then and there that I have the scam shoe, like I have the black market counterfeit shoe. So
It's gonna be like blockbusters everywhere.
Yeah,
And
exactly. So
just to bounce off of that, just a little bit, right?
Hold on a second. TY,
So-
go
Oh,
ahead.
that's the benefits of the
Go ahead.
blockchain. Everything has its basically has its metadata incorporated into it. So the time when it was sold, like to who it was transferred to, like where, what blockchain, whether Solana or Ethereum, it just has its own secure data, so it's official. No matter if there's more than one, like in my Wise Guys collection, my number 3, there are 40 of them. I actually made the number 3 and made 40 of them because they are exclusive for people in Horizons to get. And after the time period is over, when I want to give them to people, I'm going to burn the rest of them to give it more of a rarity. Like
Value.
going back to what Danica was
Value,
saying,
yeah.
like it's something you have to have a 101. You really don't have to have a 101. It can, because it has its own metadata. When that one was minted, who it was sent to, they all be basically the same, have the same look, but they will have different metadata.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
So which would essentially
Like,
show
you don't have
everyone.
the one on
guys.
one, but
Wait.
the second person
So
will have
so
002.
and
Go
this
ahead,
this
go ahead.
in lies this in lies the problem a lot of times with the term NFT, and this is why I object a little bit to calling everything an NFT. Engineering and science words have meaning; they mean things, right? You have to be able to prove that it cannot be duplicated in order, I think, to call it an NFT. If there's any way like that you could duplicate it, then you can't tell people that it's unique, right?
Well,
So
that's
I have a solution in here that I'd like to share with you, maybe share with the community, everybody, so that you can maybe employ it too if you like it. So for the Bipernicus brand, I created an Excel spreadsheet that's held on the website and read only. In the Excel spreadsheet, like if I create one of the watches, the let's say the deity line, one of those, I put that I'm only going to sell this 50 times. In that Excel spreadsheet, I allocate 50 random serial numbers for each one of those. When the buyer buys it, we do the normal thing we do in here, bring it to their world and stuff, but I also record their username by the serial number to show that they bought into the actual piece of art, right? So essentially, I'm saying this watch is split up into 50 pieces, and each one of you that buys a piece will see your value improve as the demand for this thing goes up when it becomes unavailable, right?
So the only thing that so great point, Pernicus, and this is why I just kind of push back a little bit as far as the everything component of it, right? So the reason that will probably not be an NFT is because NFTs are derived from being minted on a blockchain. So
All right,
for
hold on. Wait,
example,
let me stop you right there. We covering that. Don't worry.
Okay, yeah. Go
I
next
agree.
question.
I can't call it an NFT, and I don't. It's a world
Right.
asset, right? Because I agree with
Alright.
you. That's what I'm saying. You know.
We're gonna. This is the whole point. So, last thing I'll say before we move on to the next topic. There's things here that you're gonna understand. Like, I used to be an attorney and I used to practice, and Socratic method is interactive. There are things here that you're gonna understand, and things are gonna go over your head. But it's about immersing yourself in the information. Constantly looking at YouTube clips, going out there, checking out what the internet is saying, checking Reddit, but balancing that against what people who are in the business, people who who are moving. The only thing I will add that nobody said is that people always look at NFTs as a way to make money, and that's it's get rich with us. But there's also other ways that you can use NFTs, right? NFTs, once you possess the item, once you understand what it is, there are actually ways that you can use those for utilitarian things. And I'll let you, I'll let the panel kind of get into that as we get into the next question. And the next question is, how do you mint an NFT?
Yeah, so
I'll start off with Bada Bag.
yeah, so as I was saying, as far as the NFT component, and going back to Pernicus' example was, you know, his brand of watches on that Excel spreadsheet is only available through his website, right? Meaning you have to physically go to his website and read it, and you can take part in that ownership by purchasing it directly through him. What I was saying was, what makes something an NFT is giving it that blockchain technology to kind of back it, I guess you could say. Because with the blockchain technology, it's an open source type of deal. So meaning you don't have to go through all the traditional channels and things that you usually go to verify ownership of something, right? Think about if we used to see who owned who owned a specific line or a brand of something, how much that you have to go through or how much research you got to dig into. Then on top of that, you got to fact check and verify that, right? But with blockchain technology, it's literally, think of a receipt number, but this receipt number is infinite. It can be open to any one of you. It never goes away as long as the network is up. And then on top of that, it has security codes around it, kind of like a cube, block, aka blockchain, right? It has security codes around it so no one can get in it and tamper with it as well.
And I don't mean to cut you off, but kind of got to bring it back, right? So, how do you do that? How do you take a piece of art like what Pernicus has and put that on the blockchain without going too deep into crypto? Because I didn't want to make this a crypto panel, it's an NFT panel. But you kind of have to understand crypto to really. But just for layman's terms, how do you?
Yeah, so they got various markets out there that you can literally that literally does the minting for you, and they charge you a fee just for kind of like doing the actual smart contract of it. So, for example, I know a pretty popular marketplace is OpenSea, which is Ethereum's main marketplace, where a lot of people go to purchase their very first NFT. You can literally take something as simple as a JPEG, upload it to OpenSea. You say how many you want in the collection. Let's say you want to do a collection of 100 of that JPEG. You can then put that JPEG on there. They'll charge you, a certain percent, a certain amount to use their network. And then after they do that, you push, you verify it in your wallet, you pay for it, and then it's up on the internet to be sold as an NFT. So that's another pretty popular marketplace. So for anyone that's new to the NFT space and they want to learn more and get more involved, OpenSea is a good place.
And I think we should go back, just go back half a step. I don't think, I don't know if everybody knows what this means, but do you guys all know what it is to mint an NFT? Do you know what that means?
So minting is just pretty much putting it on a blockchain.
It's going back.
You're literally taking something. Yeah.
Oh, it's
go
going
ahead.
back to what I was talking about by having metadata, so you know exactly when it was sold, who it was sold to, how much it was sold for within the blockchain. Minting is basically putting that security to it. Once you put it on the blockchain, it's being minted. So it has security to it. Like all of you guys will be a different block, and every block will have to verify basically when something is being sold, whether or not it's original, when it was sold. Basically, you guys hold all the information, and all those computers come together to verify things, which would be the blockchain.
Ty, you mind if I take a stab at it too?
Yeah. Okay.
I know you got something too, Pernicus, but let me just give you my quick rundown because I talk about this a little bit one-on-one. So I'm going to give you a quick refresher on cryptocurrency, right? A blockchain. So blockchain is essentially an application that is running on multiple computers around the world, right? That is essentially what blockchain is. That's what it is. Each of these applications, each of these computers are processing data, right? And what is the data? The data is a ledger, literally a list of transactions coded by a hash. I don't know if you guys know what a hash is, but a long 16-digit number. And what we're doing with NFTs is we're actually, in addition to that ledger, which is going to say, okay, A sent 200,000 to Danica, you wish, and that being recorded on the ledger, it's also going to say included in that 200,000 is Pernicus's watch, right? And that link to his watch, that digital link, is what an NFT is. So when we talk about minting, we're essentially using a process to get that piece of art linked to that blockchain, which is processed by all of the computers in the network. Does that make any sense? You guys got me on that? Okay, cool. So how do you do that? Anybody?
So,
How do you do that?
so one thing I wanted to point out, and actually it's along these lines, but for people that are more experienced with the actual minting process, there's another program that I've been minting NFTs in. It's called Sandbox. And Sandbox isn't VR. You access it through a computer or through a cell phone. But essentially, what you do is you download their box editor creation tool, and then you create assets for games that they intend to sell plots of land for within Sandbox. Now, the artists that are accepted into the alpha phase right now, everything that we create, they put on a market for Sandbox, and it has its own currency, its own cryptocurrency called Sand. And the Sand is built on Ethereum blockchain technology. So you put it on there for the Sand, and right now one Sand is worth like $4, right? And you put it on there for whatever you want, and whatever you sell it for, you get 100% of. They don't want that. They just want assets for the games, right? But I wonder. So it's built on blockchain technology. They give it their unique identifiers, and yet you have to go into Sandbox to access those assets. Are they still NFTs then?
Yeah, I think in itself it may be an NFT. It's just them trying to leverage their platform. You know, just kind of like with everything else, kind of like with
I think that
Facebook and Verizon.
it's just NFTs. It's not decentralized like it purely should be. I think in for its own ecosystem, it seems decentralized, but it's still exclusive to the app.
Yep.
But I think a lot of these apps are gonna figure out a way to make things transferable. So Steph Curry put out an NFT shoe collection. I don't know if you heard about it. Um, and basically with the shoes, there's different formats of the shoe. So there's the low grade version, kind of looks like a Minecraft shoe. There's the mid grade version, it's a little more detailed, and then there's the high grade version, right? And so different platforms will probably be able to accept these shoes, and you use it in different parts. I think
We don't want
So we can
I
get with
definitely
them.
want. Yeah, I definitely.
Well, listen, guys. So one thing I want you guys to realize is that we're in the early inception phases of everything that you're seeing here in the metaverse, an NFT game. Like, if you're in this market now, you're essentially a multi-billionaire in waiting, right? And the only gap between where we're at now and where we're going in a year's time or 2 years' time is how many people are able to innovate, right? Because as we're asking these questions, like, we also can come up with solutions, right? So I have a project that we're going to be talking about a little bit later, and it's fully about who's involved. Like, if you guys are interested in being a part of the solution, then we will become a part of the solution. But the last thing I want to say, I heard OpenSea. Let's mention some other platforms that people can use. What do you use a specific platform for Canna Baby, right? What do you use?
Yeah. So for the Canon Baby Society, which I was telling everyone, it's the first immersive NFT horizon, um, where we encourage our actual holders to grow the actual Canon Baby seedling to a full rarity plant in our multi Canaverse that we have. If you guys feel free to check out our headquarters, just by adding me as a friend, and then you can go to our creations. But one blockchain that I use specifically is Solana. And with Solana, just like Ethereum has OpenSea, Solana has a marketplace, a very popular marketplace called SoulSea. I use it for I use it for various reasons. And Solana and Ethereum are two competing blockchains, even though Solana's kind of like made on them. But that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah.
But
Sorry to cut you off. We could talk about real quick. I'll get back to you. We could talk about a couple of. Oh, we have a question. I was going to mention Zap is a blockchain that's also minting. OpenSea, so there's a bunch of coming out. Anyway, what's the question? There you go.
It's under your chair, Big Chief.
Thank you.
Uh-oh.
Gotta toss it.
The heavy mic. Heavy as the hand that holds the mic.
Yo, got with the assist.
All right, so since we're talking about minting NFTs, what are the advantages of minting on the Ethereum blockchain
It's not on.
versus?
Squeeze the trigger. Okay,
There we go. So since we're talking about minting NFTs, what are the advantages of minting on, Solana versus Ethereum versus Polygon versus Wax and all the other blockchains?
Yeah, so that's honestly, I get that question often. Right? It. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, continue.
Yeah. So Big Chief. First and foremost, great question. Um, the reason that I personally use other blockchains versus Ethereum is because Ethereum's network is so congested, and it's because it's such a popular network. So many people use it. It's kind of like the first of its kind. It was the first to kind of like initiate a smart contract only network, right? And because that network is so popular and so congested, they charge enormous fees to even send money or to even mint an NFT. So, for example, let's say I wanted to mint a Canna Baby collection, which in that collection is 1,000. By the way, we sold out a whitelist as well. We'll be putting our public mint up later this week. But in regards to that, we have 1,000. We have 1,000 Canna Baby seedlings within this collection. For me, when we first started the mint process and we were prospecting Ethereum's OpenSea, to mint that entire 1,000 collection of Canna Baby seedlings would have cost us anything from $10,000 to $15,000, and that's a lot of money compared to going to another platform and paying, maybe $400 to $500. I can live with that, right? So you know, that's really the reason. Certain networks have disadvantages and advantages, such as network speed, such as the protocol of the network, how many people are using that network, what's the future innovation for that network, and as well as the fees to use that network. That's why people use various other blockchains, and they kind of have their different favorite types of blockchains. I hope I answered that question, Big T, correctly.
Yeah, and I think apart from some of the innovations that are happening on the Ethereum blockchain, things are constantly evolving in other spaces as well, right? So, like I said, I'm a part of the Blockchain Center in New York City. Tomorrow we'll be having a live performance, which is also another part of this. And they've developed an NFT collection platform on the Bitcoin network, right? So, it's really all about dealer's choice. I think more than anything, you have to go where the money resides, and I stick by that. And speaking on that, and you kind of jumped the gun talking about your sale, but let's get right to it. How did you sell your first NFT? Any tips and tricks? This is where the money resides right here, and I got some answers for this too.
It's it's a lot, honestly, guys. It's just kind of like think about starting a business from the ground up, right? This even though this has been the fastest way people have been turning into millionaires, it's no cakewalk. First and foremost, we had to come up with a concept that we felt would be aligned with our target market, right? Based off that concept, we had to figure out what utilities we wanted to incorporate within it. Putting all these various things together and making this one project, I think the most important thing was building a community around it, right? Speaking to people like you guys every single day, getting them involved, trying to pick their brains and their perspectives to see what some of the things they like to see within this community, how would they like to benefit, right? Because as Ace Burns said, a lot of people get into NFTs just for money, and sometimes it's not the case. You got people that truly care about the technology. But just to make a long story short, how we sold our first NFT was pretty much doing all of that. Um, really driving it through the community. And, by the grace of God, we were able to sell out our white, of Canna Baby seedlings on SoulSea. Like I said, it's none up there right now because we recently sold out of our whitelist, but we will be minting some more for the public mint later on this week.
So, Danica and T, I'm going to come to the wise guys in a second. How you've been sneaky linking all these celebrities by dropping wallets. This is literally what he's doing in the market. It's fucking brilliant. You're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. But Danica, you said you making NFTs, right? Talk to us about it.
Yeah, so I'm involved in around 4 projects right now. But the unique thing about me to the rest of the people on this panel is I'm unproven in the NFT space. So I'm like a lot of you people who want to come out with a collection, you're in development, or you haven't even started. I'm kind of on the newer end. But what I can say is be creative. Think about how to make multi layers to your NFTs. Um, I wasn't going to speak on this too much, but the NFTs that we're releasing, 2 of the collections, they're going to give you exclusive access to events and things that I have going on in Horizon. So a few of you have been to some of the different events that I've had. We We had Sunny Digital and Black Bolt performing Club Vivid, Double Double A, Princess Savage, and a couple of Horizon celebrities you guys know, like OTS, um, Big Baby OTS. Uh, what I'm gonna do is make it so a lot of these events you need the NFTs to go to. Uh, so we're looking at just making things so you guys in Horizon can benefit from it. It'll be things that'll be valuable to people in the space with you. Dot NY has one, and maybe Trinet wants to get to the same event, but Trinet doesn't have. He might have to buy the NFT from Dot NY.
Yo,
It
Ace.
makes it valuable for him, but it also makes it collectible to the community. You know.
I gotta bounce.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No. Absolutely. And I just want to tell you guys. So I actually sold a couple of NFTs. If you have to go, I totally understand. It's no problem.
Okay.
Copernicus.
Guys, been a pleasure.
Right,
We got to get on another conference call. Look forward to meeting you guys in Horizon.
Yeah, I actually sold. I'm into the collection of paintings that I did in 2021 and sold them. And I guess the secret sauce, if there ever there was, he done. What? No, no. The secret sauce, if ever there was some, is marketing, right? And that's kind of the reason behind the Get Rich with Us project, because any project where you have a community, like check the Telegram, you check the Discord, and there's activity and there's movement and there's bounties, things are gonna happen, right? And I think that's kind of like where I wanted to get out of this question. This community is how you basically get your sales. But Ty, talk about your strategy a little bit because I love it.
Like we've been hearing community a lot. That's how basically every great project comes together, with the people that's behind it, the people that's involved with it, the people that's putting together the roadmap for the NFT. There's one thing that I do when I look at different stuff that's like new when it comes to technology or just social experiences. I try to find little hacks to get in between the system. And I found out that Snoop Dogg had an account that he had mad NFTs and like $17 million worth of some crazy number like that, right? But it was exposed that it was his account. And I went and found the account with the actual, wallet address to the account. So I've been going around finding famous people like wallets on the Ethereum platform or whatever, and sending them my NFTs to their wallets, like transferring it to them, just giving it to them for free, like I'm trying to do for the people on Horizons. So when they go back to their wallet and they're reviewing what they have inside there, they're not expecting there's something nobody else is doing. So they're not sending these NFTs to people like that. So they're going through their wallets. They might be looking for something that they have hidden inside their OpenSea folder and say, "Oh, how did I get this?" And they look at it. They check the roadmap. They check the collection. They see the owners. They see the volume. It might be a project they want to get. They want to get in with. So, and them by them being the holders of the NFT, that brings their community into my project as well. So,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, listen, there's gonna be different innovations as the materials come in, as we get more interactivity, because like it's all technology. It's all technology. All of that we're doing is about trying to create something new. Like this, in my opinion, this whole experience is an NFT. I think Facebook knows that. It's just about figuring out how to monetize, figuring out how to create community. So at this time, before we lose all our panelists, I'm going to open it up for questions. If you have any questions, go ahead and raise your hand. I'll come over to you. I forgot. Okay, Dot, you got a question? Here we go.
You're muted, by the way, Dot. A lot of y'all are muted.
That's dope. My fault for hopping on stage like that. I had to get that man contact.
I'm actually
I know I was
a
on
part of
mute.
the Canna Baby Society too. I got their number 63. It was a good project. We connected. So
Say that. So I guess my question is probably for TY or H Burn, since y'all already mentioned y'all projects. No disrespect, Danny. I know you still
Oh,
continue
good,
on our
man.
project. But yeah. So about how many people did y'all, if y'all don't mind me asking, did y'all have on y'all team, or while y'all was building this community, or you know what I'm saying, where you doing most of the stuff by yourself? I'm in the process of building my project right now, and I got a couple of guys, couple of ladies on the team, but we trying to grow that.
I kind of think what you guys should do is get like become a part of other projects so you can see how it go, and that community can attach yourself to your community once y'all guys do start. You want to be in the midst of like other creators, other people who are doing the same thing. So that builds, just builds your circle even bigger for when you do go to Mint. Me, that's all I did. I just stayed in other communities, supported their NFTs, became like got things from their collections. So when I dropped mine, I had those guys as holders, on my project too. But the minting process, everything I did for myself. I went on YouTube, looked it up, educated myself, and just put myself in a circle of different collectors and Discords, Telegrams, and just got it popping.
Yeah. So I mean, to
Shout out
answer
to
your
Wise
question,
Guys.
and Wise Guys is dope. To answer your question, there's a team of one for me, and I don't think that you should try and duplicate anybody's process. I would say that I come from Brooklyn, a hustler by nature. I was an entertainment lawyer for 7 years, and I started my own record label, business consulting. I mean, why would you try and do what I did? And I fucked up a lot too. I mean, shit. I think the best solution is a solution that you create yourself that functions for you, right? Because you don't want to be duplicating anything. I think everybody who tries to copy the last fab or the last, whatever it was, they're disappointed, right? Past results are not equal future results, right? It just doesn't work. So one thing I did was I knew that I wanted to create something with purpose. So I created a spiritual NFT. That was the name of my project. I don't know if you guys can see some of the signs and symbols in this place. I'm a very God-fearing spiritual person, and I wanted my first NFT collection to represent that. I wanted it to be a situation where I could look back on it 110 years from now, 100 years from now, if technology evolves from our consciousness to be here, and go, yeah, I was in the right mind space there. I think when you start with purpose, at that point, everything else falls into place. A lot of people are just trying to get rich, but you gotta get rich with us. You gotta make community a part of it. You can't just get rich. You gotta get rich with your people. In my opinion. You want to take up? He asked. He said, how many people were on his team when he started for his mint? I'm sorry. He's asking us how many people were on our team because he wants to also mint. He's trying to figure out how many should be on his team.
Oh man, honestly, bro, I would say if you want to just get started, you don't really necessarily need a team. If you're just that go getter, you can just do it, right? Essentially, I have a team because I run an entire NFT consulting firm. So it's a team of 5. We have two tech developers, a graphic designer, a CSO, and me being the CEO. But if I've seen people, and I have supported projects that were single-handedly just solo. So you can definitely do it, man, if you got the drive. You don't necessarily need a team. I think the team is more so for the expansion. But honestly, if you want to just kind of just do it, do it. The time is up. The time is now.
Yeah, and I would also add to that. I do a lot of early stage sort of consulting, and usually the foundational team is never the team that's gonna rock out once it gets sold, right? You're gonna have
Correct.
It's sort of like a courageous group of guys who have time to donate, or guys and girls in between who have stuff to donate. But then in the future, when you sell, you're gonna have the hardcore CC, all the guys who got all the experience, the Harvards and the Yales of us, who get paid the big bucks, and they'll basically drive the boat from there. So in the beginning, you just want something. Next question.
I have a question. What happened to Mem?
That's a great question. That's fine. I don't mind that.
This is why he's hot.
Mims is on his way, believe it or not. I'm not gonna hold you. He's actually just got off a flight. He's rushing to his hotel room. He's gonna get in here as soon as he can. But believe me when I tell you, he was here last night. He's coming soon.
Yeah.
Mims is on his way. Don't worry. I promise. The real Mims.
Real Mims.
He was here last night, actually. So I wouldn't. Don't worry, he'll be here. But any other questions?
Hey, right.
I got a question. Okay. Oh, sorry about that.
Yo, stop.
This is why I'm
Yeah,
hot
for
as
real.
so hot. I just downloaded that shit again.
What's your question, bro?
All right, so I'm a huge NFT collector. To anybody who knows me, I do have the Wise Guys number 3. Shout out to TY. So where can I find your collections at?
Yeah, so you can find our collection on SoulSea. Pretty soon we'll be switching to OpenSea as well because OpenSea will be allowing Solana capability. But right now we're strictly on SoulSea. If you want to learn more about our project, like I said, guys, feel free to shoot me a friend request. You guys can hop in my headquarters. You can shoot me a DM. You know, we're always in the headquarters. Tomorrow we'll actually be in the headquarters with some of our holders at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you guys just want to shoot me a friend request, hop in our headquarters. We can talk about Panda Baby Society all day.
Cool. T.Y.?
I'm good.
All right.
Yeah,
So
well, I'm gonna be dropping in the next couple weeks. Hopefully in the next week and a half. And just be on the lookout, guys. If you haven't already, follow me on Facebook, Danica VR, Instagram, Danica VR. And if you want to talk business, my Gmail is danicavr@gmail.com.
Yeah, same here, guys. If you guys want to talk business, our consulting firm Twitter is ENFT365. Instagram is Canon Baby NFT. Facebook is Everything NFT. And if you guys want to talk business, it's Everything NFT 365 at gmail.com.
Yeah. As for me, if you want to tap in with me, my website is aceburns.com. I do have. So I wanted to piggyback off that question and just kind of give some more insight to people who are interested in this market. So in addition to having all the mechanics behind an NFT, which can be complicated, there's more simple ways to get into this business, right? So you say you're a collector. I feel like it's great to buy NFTs. You can kind of buy low and sell high, but that's not that nuanced, right? There's a lot of stocks and bonds and things like that you can buy as an investment. The beautiful thing for me, especially us in the metaverse here, is that you can create money. You can actually create a thing, whatever product it is, right? And then it's just about marketing it, right? You just need a community to get behind that project. So if you don't want to go the full route of minting and actually placing on a blockchain, you can do something that I did, which is lazy mint. You guys know what lazy minting is? Does anybody know what lazy minting is? Anybody? Lazy mint? So essentially, instead of paying the gas fee, okay, good for you. Instead of paying the gas fee, which would can range anywhere between $100 and $200 per mint, you can actually do something that I did, which is you can have your NFT created, put together your project, whatever it is, a song, a picture, a virtual object, whatever it is, and then you can actually list it on OpenSea, right? There's no cost for that. And when somebody wants to buy into it, they pay the gas fee as a part of the price, right? And so that's one way that you can actually get into this market. So that's what I did. I minted 12 NFTs. The first one, which is probably always the first one, is going to be the most profitable one. That was sold immediately. Well, not but most times. Sometimes the first, sometimes the last.
Yo, Ace.
Yeah. Okay. You want to get shot, don't you? What I do? But what I'm trying to say to you guys is that you can find my stuff on OpenSea, aceburns.com, but you definitely need to get into the market yourself. If you're collecting, it's not that far a step from actually creating. So don't get caught up in just buying and consuming. You make more money and you create it for zero and then you sell it for X.
Oh yeah, I do have a collection coming down.
Where's your collection?
It's coming. It's in the process.
Okay, cool. We'll tap in with it. Do you have any more audience questions before I get this guy shot?
No. What the NFT with Horizon?
One more time?
What's like NFT?
Here you go.
So what does have to do with anything with Horizon?
That's a question. That's a question that has so many more questions because Horizon is still a fairly new program still. I can see the long-term vision of Horizon. That's why we launched our NFT in Horizon. But I think it's just all based off the premise of monetization. Different ways people can monetize their world. You can make your world so exclusive that you can only have an NFT just to come here. Or you can get an NFT of an access code. So my world requires an access code for you to get into. There's so many various ways that you can monetize NFTs with Horizon.
And Horizon will have NFTs, even if it's just
Yep.
in game. I'm not telling you 100% for sure. I do not work for Facebook, but this is what I see in the future. I see that NFTs are coming. We're gonna have a marketplace where you guys will be able to buy and collect. And even if you're not going to be um, a person creating the NFTs, there's no shame in collecting. I mean, it could actually be very lucrative. And it could be kind of a side hustle for a lot of you guys. So if you're not a creative, just tap in with people who are and kind of, see where they go with it. Support different creators. So when we do put these collections out, even if you just support the people, it's good to buy in a project. You know what I mean? And it's art first and foremost. Like let's keep that aspect in mind. So there's value in knowing someone and liking their character, or just liking their creation, wanting to buy into whatever they have going on. And then there's there's social currency in that, right? You're helping people to eat. We all are going to create the metaverse. It's not going to be like how the last version of internet was, Web 2, where all the big companies create everything and we just come in and consume. This is going to be us literally, physically making the future in the face of what this earth is going to look like inside.
And one thing I want to say to everybody here, since y'all here to join the panel, if you don't already have a MetaMask or a Slope wallet or a Phantom wallet, basically get MetaMask, get OpenSea when you guys leave here, whenever you take those headsets off, and it'll just get you closer, a step closer to becoming a part of the whole NFT experience, whether a collector, whether you're creating, but make sure you guys get your wallets and connect them to something. Definitely.
Yeah, great point, Ty. And if you guys have any other questions in regards to just more, if you want us to get more and more one conversation in regards to NFTs, like I said, Canna Baby HQ, we do talk about NFTs all the time. We have a classroom in there, so if you guys want to, feel free to shoot us either one of us a question. Feel free. I'll love to take my time out my day, to sit down and talk to you guys, because honestly, this is kind of merging into its own like career for myself. So yeah, I'm pretty open. I love talking about this stuff, and nothing would dream me more to get you guys in the right direction.
We got another question from the OG Meta Rupert. Ready?
What's up, y'all? Meta Clean here. So
Yeah, that's my bird.
I wasn't here from the very beginning. So I'm a man of a certain age, right? I'm invested in traditional stocks. I'm invested in crypto. Knew about NFTs probably 9 months ago and didn't take the leap. So what do you suggest my first step be right now? MetaClean, I would say your first step will be figure out what you like, right? Because NFTs can be
Taking Addie's today. Chilling. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
yeah. So Meta, NFTs can be art, NFTs can be music, NFTs can be an experience. So first thing I would say is only invest in, right? And this is financial advice. Invest in what you like, right? Invest in what you like. Don't invest in what you don't know. So Meta, that would be my first step. Invest in what you like. So if you're an art guy, OpenSea is your place to go. If you're a music guy, OneUp or Rarible is a marketplace for you. That's specifically geared towards music and those type of NFTs. If you're an experienced guy, well, you can find that on all sorts of NFT platforms. Hope that helps.
And what I would say to add on to that, just a sprinkle of season on that, buy black. That's a fact. Buy black. You don't know what projects to buy something, buy black. Like I said, there's also
Guys, I know you guys wanted to know, so I gotta tell you, we got a special guest appearance. Come on up. I'd like to introduce to you the one, the only man. Just go ahead and take your seat, brother. You thought I was playing? I don't play by my money, motherfucker. That's what I'm talk about. Mims, go ahead, let the people know what's going on. By the way, this is the amount of respect I have for this man. He is actually at a wedding in New Orleans. The flight was delayed an hour, and he still found time to bring his black ass in here to represent. So, yo, give some confetti to the man, please.
Shout out to the homie.
Appreciate it. I'm not even sure if you guys can hear me. I'm in the hotel and I'm all right, cool. I'm using it. So first of all, I want to apologize. Like Ace said, I was supposed to be here probably an hour and a half earlier, but flying out of Newark isn't always the easiest. So man, I apologize for that. Yeah, man. Shout out to anybody on the East Coast, Jersey sides. Yeah, man. I heard some gems being dropped. No, I really heard some gems being dropped on the way in. I'm not sure who was dropping the gems, man. But yeah, definitely. I'm pleased to be here. Happy to be amongst you guys. And this is honestly, this is cool, man. This is the next level. This is the future right here. So,
Thanks for
absolutely.
Yeah, we appreciate you being here.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming, man. That was just me telling them just buy black. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Figure out what to do, buy black. You know?
Wait, am I looking at the right person?
Yeah,
When you said that?
City.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt.
All right, so listen.
But it was.
So listen, I don't want to take up any more of your time because obviously we all got stuff to do. Everybody's pulling me in different directions. But Mims, you know people want to hear about you. They want to hear what you're working on. Why don't you tell them about your experience with the NFTs?
Yeah, so just a quick synopsis, man, and like I said, man, I really apologize for being late. I hate being late to anything, but I've been involved in the tech space since about 2012. I started investing my time and energy and effort into technology, building startups, bootstrapping companies from out of my own pockets, and then went on to create some cool technology. Some cool music-based technology, and then transitioned into the blockchain world around 2017. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait.
Continue, Mims. We're hearing you.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, around 2017, I transitioned into the blockchain space. So I'm an avid believer in the technology itself and what it's doing. I'm also obviously as at the last couple of years just sprung up this whole NFT thing upon us. I'm also an avid believer in that space and how creative it's going to make the space that I came from, which is the music world. So, I don't want to talk, but just so you guys know, like I don't like using the word pioneer because people use it the wrong way. But I'm basically trying to push my culture forward, push the music culture forward by introducing this technology back into the music space. So everybody here pretty much probably knows what the technology is. But now, we all just need to make a collective effort pushing it back. I was listening to Danica talk about some of the platforms. He mentioned one of, which is a platform I'm at. Oh, sorry. Who? My bad.
Canada Baby Society, about a bag.
Okay, about the bag, man. My apologies. Yeah, so I heard mention of platforms like One of, Real Boo, and some of the obviously bigger platforms that are coming out on the music side. And it's important to really just kind of follow what these guys are doing because I think the future for artists, the creators, is going to be in the blockchain tech space, as well as many other industries like gaming and such places. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, guys, listen, I'm so honored to be able to say we worked on this question. I'm not going to answer that. But what I do want to get into
about EFT.
I got a question.
The last thing I want to talk about. Oh, you got a question?
Yeah, what projects are you on?
T-Y, could you sit down? You kind of like on the side.
My controller got drift, so if I put the battery in, it's running all over the place. Get him up out of here.
Get him out.
Run. Get the strap.
Run. Get the strap. Get the strap.
I love
I'm like, man, is he going?
You pop in.
I know you was trying to have patience with him. I know you.
You give your people all the patience in the world, but you got to stay on message. And the message is get rich with us. If everybody's in accord, we're gonna make it. Sorry, what were you saying?
I wanted to know what projects in the NFT world that you're currently a part of. Like, what are some of the things that you're holding? if you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, so I'm more of a behind the scenes person. What I what I've been blessed to be able to do is be kind of first to be a part of some of these companies in the making, and then being able to translate what they're doing back into my space in the music world. So I have a really close relationship with one of and what they're doing. So I support a lot of the projects that they're coming out with, especially because they're music based. And one of my partners actually happens to be the head of blockchain development up there. Currently, I also work on the guild side, gaming side. So I also advise some gaming guilds. I advise a gaming guild called the Metagoons, which, if you guys don't know, the gaming space in Web3 is going to also be a huge big deal. Play to earn, which is really big. So I'm yeah. So
You're speaking
I'm
at
big on that.
Decentraland next, right?
I actually have an event on Saturday, the 26th. Metaverse. There you go. Yeah, first time in the metaverse, man, for sure. Had to get so I have an event going on there with the Central Land. We're doing something pretty cool in that space. Actually doing an activation with the Central Games alongside, in conjunction with the Metagoons, which is the gaming guild. So my participation in the space is usually from an educational standpoint. I do hold a few different NFTs. I like to diversify myself. But I also like to educate people as well, man. So I take that standpoint on as
We
well.
need to add a wise guy to the
Mims,
collection.
I got a quick
We
question.
need to put a wise
Okay,
guy.
let's
we're
get a
gonna
question
we're
from
gonna
the
say
audience real quick. We're gonna take one or two more questions before we wrap this up because I know everybody's busy. It's Tuesday. I gotta get some money. Y'all be talking, but we not making no money yet. So we gotta get to the money. So any more questions before we any questions? Anybody? I got a question.
for Mims, I guess. Since
Okay.
nobody
Yeah.
wants to.
Danica,
I wanted to know. So you said, is this your first time? Well, I know you said you weren't here yesterday, but at least one of your first times hopping in the Horizon.
My first time in Horizon was yesterday with Ace, and I got to witness Pernicus's world, Ace's world, a couple of different places, Stellar Door. I mean, when I say I'm blown away by, I've had an Oculus for a year, and I've traveled, in certain different apps in here, but obviously not in Horizon. And to see what Horizon is capable of doing, we went into a studio yesterday. I feel like it's almost somewhat surreal that we have this exists. It's almost surreal that it exists. And then, like I said, I'm just really kind of looking forward to how creative the space is going to be from now into the future.
I got a question for Mims as well. Now, Mims, you being involved in the tech industry for various years, and your experience. Just kind of, if you don't mind sharing with the audience, where do you see the full blown extent of NFTs going within the next 3 to 5 years?
So I'm more of a utility person, right? So I feel like a lot of the PFP projects that have dropped have been great, and it's great to bring awareness to the space. But I believe that we have to start seeing more utility. I think that even coming from the entertainment space, I feel like artists are going to start paying more attention to how to reward their fans. 5 years ago, I said when building an application that I said my number one goal is to build experiences for people. I believe that NFTs allow us to verify. It's a key to allow people to unlock. The ability to be in certain places, a part of certain people, a part of certain clubs.
Stop. We can hear you. Keep it down, please.
Oh. My bad. So to answer your question on the evolution of NFTs, right now, as everyone sits in this audience, the number one goal, I believe, by artists, by companies, by everyone, is to start actually using the technology to give back to the people and allow them the ability to unlock certain things. So whether it be play to earn, watch to earn, so many build to earn, so many different things, so many different revenue streams are about to be created just from the blockchain and NFT technology. That it's limitless right now. It's limitless of what you can think of.
Yeah, and just piggybacking on what you said as far as giving back to the culture, right? Because that's really what's most important, that our culture thrives off is innovation. I was telling TY and Ace the other day, I feel like this is our gold rush, right? For us to get a chance of to be a part of the future and actually build in it. As he was saying, the various types of ways that people can kind of like, make profit or gain some cool perks and incentives from these NFT projects is another thing a lot of people are doing. Various investors are they're forming what's called DAOs. A DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization, and pretty much what that is an organization of investors that are investing in decentralized technology.
Can I speak on a high level for that?
Yeah, yeah.
So you guys know I'm in corporate governance. You didn't know, but I'm telling you now. I do corporate governance for about 10 different. I'm not gonna snitch on myself, but yeah, I do basically help corporations figure out what their formations are gonna be like, whether they're gonna have CEOs or directors. So about 2 years ago, I did some research for a client trying to explain what a DAO is, a DAO, right? And what it is essentially is a autonomous organization. So we're talking about an organization which, at least from the government side, is not owned by any individual, is not domiciled in any particular region, but makes decisions collectively. And as it is right now, the SEC has no way to regulate that. Meaning, if you create a DAO that has a function that does it, even if the members do make decisions, but they don't make it individually, they don't have control, it's totally legal. So you could have a financial, and I might be working, I'm not going to snitch on myself, I might be working on an organization doing this. If you have an organization that's promising gains, right? You guys don't know about staking, or some of you do know about staking. It can promise gains in 21 days in a certain amount of time. It's totally legal. Even though the Howey test says that if you're promising gains, that's a security, and that's not allowed. With DAOs, you can actually do that because no one is controlling the organization. I just wanted to speak to that.
Dope response, Ace.
Yeah, but just to go back to MIMS and talking about utility, that's why I'm here. People don't know why I came into the metaverse. Somebody, D-Dot, you remember when I first came here, it was to create this community, a collective of people that could come together, and when they felt like a cause was worthy, they can put their energies into it and actually help the world. I want to actually affect the physical world in addition to the metaverse, and that's why I brought MIMS and these guys together so that we could talk about this project. So this project is called Get Rich With Us, and the first community mint that we're going to launch today on Telegram. Actually, MIMS, you said tomorrow, right? We'll do two parts. We'll do one tonight, we'll do one tomorrow morning, so that MIMS can get involved in that too. We're going to save a house that was used on the Underground Railroad. Let me break it down. 857 Riverside Drive. Right? This is a house that helped people get from the south into Canada. It was a stop on the Underground Railroad. And it has all the trappings, all the secret doors. I had a chance to go there. I was a protest. I'm still an activist. In 2020, I discovered this, and we immediately had people sleeping on the ground, we brought all the politicians, and we're finally now at the point where we can actually save the house. But the developer paid $1 million in order to buy that property, right? And no one has $1 million of their cash. Even if you do, you're not going to give $1 million of cash. But what if we created an NFT, us, you guys, and me? We created an NFT. And we actually use those resources to save that property, right? Now we create a utility NFT that can have financial value as well. You can make some money while making money too. But before that, we can actually save this stop on the Underground Railroad. What would that do for Black history? What would that do for the metaverse? What would that do for the physical world? Right? If you guys are interested, please go to getrichwithus.org, join the Telegram chat. We're going to do a hackathon after this. And anybody who has time, energy, I don't care if you're just an artist, there are plenty of different stages. We need marketing, we need creators, we need people to just talk about what this is. But we're hoping to bring you guys together into the Telegram and actually produce something to save this project, to save this house, save this piece of Black history. Can I get some confetti if you guys think that's a good idea?
I love that.
Yeah, that's why I'm here. Somebody told me don't tell people about what you're doing. I'm telling you guys, this is what I'm here for. This is the only reason I'm in the metaverse. I can make plenty of money on my own. I wanted to connect with my people here. You got people from Philly, you got people from Memphis, people from Chi-Town, people from Phoenix. Let's all get together on the same platform, on the same cause, create an NFT. And it's not scammer shit. I'm not doing it personally. We're all doing it collectively. You feel me? You guys with it?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Tap in with me. Go to the website, getrichwithus.com. At this time, I know you gotta get back to your wedding, Mims. I want everybody to join me up here on the stage. Mims, come forward. Guys, panelists, come to the front. We're gonna do a group photo. Come on, everybody's welcome. Come on, this is the end.
Okay, can I get a selfie with Mims really quick?
Everybody, photo first. Please join us if you can. Thank you. And I'm gonna take it.
Y'all gotta go.
Damn, these damn barriers.
Safety
I
bubbles.
know.
I wonder if I can walk this.
Maybe the bubbles that I
All right,
have.
1, 2, 3. One more. Give it a second to load. You know these
Black Power fist, baby.
I like that.
Let's hit the Black Power fist.
1. Put that fist up. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Oh, thank you guys so much. That was phenomenal.
Thank you.
Did y'all feel
Right.
like
Bless, bless, bless.
shoot them off this?